shop. And I definitely don't want to be negative at this point because I've got to be positive for young people. So, right, once I parked, the voice came into my head, like, time to deal with the Confederacy at the coffee shop. And what does that mean? It means really bad service. Because these young people are so they're at a disadvantage. Biologically, even. So people want to say it's about white supremacy. That may or may not be true for a certain number of people with power. But the young people are rather innocent in this. Although there's no chance that they'll end up being, like, benevolent. So those of them that, like, do their chants and their rising Appalachia, magic and curses and all of that too, worshipping snakes, like, okay, if that's how you want to spend your free time. But the point is that that's what we have as far as an anti-war movement goes. And these people are not that smart, is what it comes down to. Let me just say it like that. I don't want to be cheeky. I'm always laughing. Sorry. So, I got this coffee, but it took a while. They don't, like, where should I go to get the coffee? The guy's just yelling my name, and it's like, okay, well, there's no space here for you to even put the coffee. You're gonna just hand it to me. Like, this is not... Starbucks does it the way they do it because, no, you should never just be handing me a hot, scalding cup of coffee. There should be a place where you're putting it down and then I'm taking it from there. That's the training. Because it's hot. So that's what I mean, dealing with the Confederacy. It's like, this just, dude. The entire last century we were doing it this way. How did you not catch on to that? It's the experience when you go to these Confederate areas and towns, and everyone wants to overlook it. That's what the social justice is for. But no. We're going to have to deal with the issue of stupidity. And the liberals don't want to address this because they want to control intellect. So they think, no, common people, you should just be emotional, well-handled thinking. And that's just not... That dam is beginning to burst. Hi there. I'm on my way to Gainesville, Georgia. Yes, indeed. I'm in Appalachia right now. So, thank you for listening. I feel like I have perspective. I was a city person for a long time. This is definitely the time to see how human beings are doing. Let's say it like that, right? I'm looking forward to AI, honestly. Because someone like me actually gets along with computers better. I'm someone who does learn the rules, follow protocols. I mean, my car, I try to do as much with the buttons as possible. Yeah, it is nice and sunny. But exactly, everyone's got to start being the very best they can at the few things that are asked of us. One of them is driving. You know, you got to give yourself space. And so really easy tasks will be eliminated, yes. But you'll still be at a great advantage if you're a good driver. Like, let's say you're using a vehicle that drives for you. Just understand that that's like alleviating your muscles and everything. Like, you'll probably have less back problems because of the driving self-driving car, but that doesn't mean that it's driving for you. Like, it's going to be an augmented reality, and that's how people should see it. Like, you are great, you are educated, you know how to use this stuff, and AI supports you in being a genius. You know, on that note, let's talk about Elon Musk for a second, because I really feel sorry for that man, because he's so smart, but he's on this other wavelength. It's a dark energy. I'm calling it the 100,000 year war. So I heard about this thing when I was in grade school. Basically that one day the earth will be eaten by the sun. He's going on that information. But the issue is that that's too far in the future. If I get shot out, I don't know what you mean. But yes, we shouldn't be basing our industry decisions on something that's like tens of thousands or 100,000 years in the future. That's actually evil. That's the devil fooling you. And on that note, Professor Jiang, Jiang, his latest video, I think, is he's talking about how Paradise Lost is the Bible for the secret societies, i.e. Deep State. Kristen Kelly. There you go. So anyway, it's all coming crashing down. But, you know, Donald Trump will have to admit, if he wants to be on the good side, that no one, excuse me, my nose itches. No one is immune to mind control. Because, okay, I'm going to say the secret because right now I'm in the clear, but you know that they have no clue what's going on because they're not using the term. Thank you, Mr. Steinbach. Bless you as well. So yes, if the Trump admin knew what was going on, they'd be using the term neo-fascist. Okay, they're not saying that, they're saying fascist and Antifa and stuff. So their memorandum, the Attorney General's memorandum on fighting domestic terrorism or countering it is what they're calling it. They don't even have any leads, apparently. And how do they not have any leads when all of this is basically open source information, right? So any of us who actually know what's going on, we have a loss of confidence now, which is another military technical term, okay? And thankfully I had my own mission separate from the president, so I can keep going, but I've had several losses of confidence. I have had to deal with a certain amount of this hidden Confederacy, is what I'll call it in the US. You shouldn't call it white supremacy, because it's not that. It's not really about race, except that the people do seem to be white in color, yes, but that's not why it's happening. It's basically, I call it, or I think of it like the ghosts of the Confederacy, because the truth is that what formed the United States was those hooligans losing the war. And so who's left in these Confederate places, Confederate states, where the whole state isn't Confederate anymore, like Georgia, for instance. Some of it's very progressive and liberal. But there are places that are still like Confederate. You know, that's their culture. And sadly, it's just a culture of stupidity, drunkenness, like lawlessness, just no education. These kids weren't, their parents couldn't care. When you hear couldn't care less, I think that kind of phrase was developed in a place like us. Because sure, they would want to care, but they're not able to, because they can barely take care of themselves. So when you call it white supremacy, I think that's actively working against these people who are like actually inferior. And it's having the whole country like hate these people that they're really overestimating, is what I can see. So if you're overestimating your enemy, that's, you know, I think that's a big part of what's happening right now. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and focus on